This is my 2014 Finding My Roots project. Recently, I joined Ancestry.com and I was able to find historical documents on my family and able to gather information on them also. My name is Tarik Johnson, but my history goes all the way back, and I'm the great-great-great-great-grandson of Alfred P. Upshur, who was a Civil War hero during the 1800s. I'm also the great-great-great-grandson of Reuben B. Upshur, who was a business developer, all in the town of Northampton, Virginia. Not only was I able to find documents, but I asked my dear mother if she had information on any of these two historical people. And let's see what she had to say.
My grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, was this Alfred P. Upshur. How I learned about Alfred P. Upshur was from my family house in Northampton, Virginia. In 1955, we had went to Northampton, Virginia. I was about 6 years old. And my grandmother, my great-grandmother, was explaining to me about her family history. That was Nola Burton Upshur. She was telling me that he had fought in the Union Army, the U.S. colored troop in the Civil War. Now, he was a farmer. He wasn't a slave, he was a farmer. He was from Northampton, Virginia. He wasn't a slave, he was a farmer. And he enrolled in the Union Army in November of 1861. And she said that he had enlisted at the age of 17, and he was discharged from the service May 17th of 1866.
Wow, such amazing information given about my great-grandfather. That's 150 years ago. My great-grandfather was a Civil War hero, and he was able, being a free man himself, he was able to go into war and defend and fight for emancipation of slaves. That's just great history, and it just makes me proud to know that this is a part of my American heritage. Let's continue to hear some more about my family history.
Reuben Upshur is the second son of Alfred P. Upshur. Reuben Upshur had a home and a general store. Nola Burton Upshur was Reuben Upshur's wife. Reuben Upshur and Nola Upshur, they lived next door to each other down in Northampton, Virginia. When I went there, I was 6 years old. We were at the family house in Northampton, Virginia. Family house that my great-great-grandfather had built, Reuben Upshur had built. It was during the summer that my family took us down to Northampton, Virginia. And we were there to see the farmland because we had lived in the city. And so my parents wanted us to visit a farmland. We visited our great-great-grandfather and our grandmother, Nola Upshur and Reuben Upshur. They had about 14 children. Out of the 14 children, Marie Upshur showed me how to feed the chickens. They had chickens there. They had pigs there. They had a farmhouse with horses that were in there. And we picked some apples. We also picked the apples and we threw it at the horse. They had a lot of horses there at that time. Okay, Reuben Upshur had a general store, and he took us to the general store where he showed us around in the general store. He also showed us the church in the area. He also showed us the farmland, the horses, the pigs that he had, and the chickens. He introduced us to our relatives in the area. Most of the Upshur relatives lived in the area. We also visit James P. Upshur's general store. That was James P. Upshur, which is Reuben Upshur's first son. That was a pool hall, and that was a part of the Upshur's business. They had a pool hall next to the general store. That's where most people in the community stayed or visited at. They had supplies of food, clothing, anything that you need. At that time, lights, batteries. Remember, this was in 1963. Because people didn't have stores in the area in Northampton. So here is a man of color who had a store where the people of the community could come to.
Well, there you have it. I have a great extension of family roots from Alfred P. Upshur, who was a Civil War hero, already a free man, and then his son, Reuben Upshur, who owned farms, houses, stores, chickens, you name it, he had it, all in the town of Northampton, Virginia. Well, what more could a great-grandson ask for, right? There's more, there's a lot more. There's information on Ancestry.com that went back to Alfred B. Upshur, the Civil War hero, who actually, his father may have roots, and I could be part Native American. But I need your help. Please, if you have any information, contact me on Twitter or Facebook and help us continue the legacy of the Upshur.